All right, so today, again, we're doing sine, cosine, tangent. Here they are. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Then we have tangent, which is the opposite over the adjacent. Thanks for putting that phone away. There's 3 more that we're doing today. Those 3 were the secant. That is horrible. Let's see what it looks like in my cursive. Secant.
I can read that a lot better.
You can read that better? Yeah, baby. Cosecant. And then cotangent. Let's see what my smartboard thinks. Yeah! It's a little small. So those are the 3 new ones. We also talked about their short version. For secant, we'll say SEC. Cosecant will be CSC. And for cotangent, we'll just use the first 3 letters for COT. Now that's important to know. Thank you. Go away. Because these 3 are simply reciprocals of the first 3. Right? Kind of like 3 over 2. What's the reciprocal of 3 over 2? 2 over 3. So all these are reciprocal functions, okay? So there's no need to get all worked up about having to memorize new stuff, okay? What you do need to memorize is which is the reciprocal of which. Now, obviously the easiest one, cotangent. What do you think cotangent is the reciprocal of? Tangent. So these guys are twinsies. Instead of being opposite over adjacent, this is going to be adjacent over opposite. Okay? That leaves me with 2 options here, which is secant and the cosecant. So which one is which, right? Now, if this doesn't work for you and you don't see it, then I'm sorry, but that's how I used to remember. These are reciprocal, right? So they're the backwards ones of them. And if I take a look at this secant, it almost looks like cosine backwards. You see it? If I switch that E for an O, yeah. I got little things like that. They're not always the best, but it worked for me. Reading it backwards, it looks like cosine, doesn't it? So guess what? Secant is the reciprocal of cosine, and cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So here's their definition. This would be hypotenuse over the adjacent. This would be hypotenuse over the opposite. Okay? Scaramouche, can we do the fandango? Hello. Hello. Hello, Figaro. Figaro. There's this commercial for a... Wait. No escribas tan rápido. All over. You are fast.
You had all this written down for me.
What?
You had half this written down before we
Oh,
started.
did I? Oh, that's true. All right, let's continue then. Yeah. Can I get in the shot?
You changed it.
Hey, what did I do? I deleted it. How dare I? Ooh, that's shiny. It's a myrrh. Hey, myrrh. So in the reciprocals, there's another way that you can write these. They should be in your books, but write these down, please. Cosecant can also be expressed as 1 over sine. Because remember, sine is a fraction, right? And do we divide by fractions? No, you multiply by the reciprocals. Oh, snap. That's cool, huh? So make sure that you have these down. Sine, cosecant, secant, tangent. Sine would be opposite over hypotenuse. But what happens is you multiply by the reciprocal, which is hypotenuse over opposite. That's gone. 1 times h is h. And then 1 times o is o. So again, there's your definition one more time. Okay? You can do that for all three of those. So. Please let me know when I can change the slide. Very, very frightening. Hallelujah. 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 I'd like to be good. Oh. Oh, this is nice. It's not, So this comes with a lifetime warranty, except it doesn't cover wear and tear. So like if it magically falls apart, they'll cover it. Like.
Is there extra pixie sticks in your breakfast this morning, Mr. Marcus? Is there extra pixie sticks in your breakfast this morning?
No, I had a eggs with bacon and French fries.
You didn't have like a breakfast club breakfast? A Captain Crunch sandwich with...
Man, you know what? I haven't had that at breakfast in a long time. I always have eggs for breakfast. It's bad, but that's my favorite cereal. Like, you put bananas in it? Nice. All right, you guys ready? Let's do this. Here they want us to find the cotangent of negative, cotangent of negative 5 pi sixths. Okay? So, whoa, excuse me, Mr. Boss. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's heavy. That would have been funny, huh, if I fell? Half of you already visualized it. Oh my god! But nobody moves an inch. We're horrible people. Alright. So, negative 5 pi 6. What's that denominator of 6 telling me? Anybody? Yeah, but what? How many angles am I going to get? What size is the angles? If you take pi, which is 180 divided by 6, you get 30-degree angles. How many 30-degree angles? 5 of them. That'll put me right about here, which means that this angle here is going to be 30 degrees. So now I'm going to finish up the triangle as such. I know that opposite to 30 is a 1, which means that this is a 2, and this is radical 3, but that should be negative, and this should be negative. Now, if you think back, what happened?
I don't know how you got those numbers.
30, 60, 90, bro. So 30, 60, 90.
-1 and...
Well, this went in the negative direction, right? So this value has to be negative. And this went down.
Get the radical 3 though.
That's from 30, 60, 90. 30, 60, 90. Right? This is a 1, that's a 2. And if we do Pythagorean's theorem, that would produce radical 3. Radical 3. Radical 3.
I don't think I was here when
Go check out my video on YouTube. YouTube.com/JMuseMath. Leave your likes and subscribe. No. Smash that like button. Go to get my t-shirt.
Go get my merch.
Go get my merch. I'm gonna have to do some merch. You fools, you're wrong. You just lost points. I don't know if extra normal would like me taking that line. All right, cool. So you guys good? So what is this going to end up being?
Wait, what did you draw on top? What is that 0?
It's a circle. I circled 5. Remember? I said how many 30 degrees are there? There's 5 of them. So that is a horrible 5. I can do better than that. I can do better than that. Ever since you pointed it out, now I'm just like looking at everything. I'm gonna be so much more conscious about that now. For about a week. Then I'll forget.
So yes, how many questions are on the
More than 1 and less than 50.
Wow. Oh my god.
More than 1 and less than 40?
No. 30?
More than 1 less than 30. Yeah?
Yeah, but that gets to the point where like getting one question wrong is going to be a pretty big chunk.
Yeah, I know. And that's what people don't understand. Like if I do less questions, you get one wrong, you lost 5% of your test.
Yeah, well, the longer it takes and the more I'm going to
Touche. So the more time you have to focus on the question, then the more. So it's a give and get. It just depends what we need to assess.
Under 20 questions?
I can't say that.
Wait, the final?
No, they're talking about chapter tests, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
All right, cool. So what is my cotangent, guys? Tangent is opposite over adjacent, right? So this time I want my adjacent, which is negative radical 3, and divide that by my opposite, which is negative 1. Therefore, it is radical 3. Okay? You see it? Good. Now the other angle they want is the cosecant of pi sixths. Well, pi sixths is a 30-degree angle. It's only one of them. That means that it's going to be the companion to this bad boy. Here's my 60, opposite 30 is 1, 2, radical 3. Notice that they're both positive in this case. So cosecant. Cosecant is a reciprocal of the... What is cosecant reciprocal of?
No. See,
Sine.
sine.
Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Therefore, we want the hypotenuse over the opposite. Let's see here. So the hypotenuse is a 2. The opposite is a 1. Simplify that, and you're going to get deuce. Dose, dose. Dose, dose. I haven't had a quarter pounder since I used to work at McDonald's.
You used to work at
That, man, dude, McDonald's put me through college. I started my junior year. I started my junior year in high school. And when I graduated from college, I said, peace, Mickey Dinks. I'm going to go teach. And that was in 2001.
Oh, that was one.
So, but I made manager like in 8 months. So I was making minimum wage, baby.
Congratulations. Wait, why did we divide on like...
Because that's what it is. It's a ratio, right? It's hypotenuse divided by the opposite. The hypotenuse is 2, the opposite is 1. What is 2 divided by 1?
Oh,
2.
okay.
Same thing with the top one. Okay? Alright, you guys try this one. Can I change this? No. Thanks, kid. No, no, no.
I'm actually going to make
What?
If I have an 80 and I fail this test, what would I
I don't know. Do the math.
I can't.
Stop it.
I actually want to make merch for you now.
You want to what?
Like design merch for you now.
Nice. That would be great.
I got you.
I buy it.
I always wanted to get one that said I solve problems.
I got it. I can make that in 10 seconds.
I solve problems. Or what's the other one? I got 99 problems.
What's not one?
But this mother functioning.
No. I just leave it that way.
We should make you a shirt like we did with volleyball coach my freshman year.
All about your freshman year?
No, it's like we took his face and then we made it into Mr. Queen.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Have you guys seen my picture on YouTube?
Yeah.
It's like me. It was one of my ID pictures like years ago. It was like, do your work. And then got me. What's up?
I don't understand. Okay, so you had negative 5 pi.
Right here.
What did you do with it?
We graphed it right here. See this bottom one? That is negative 5 pi sixths.
How do you know that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
Let's make sure the teacher knows what he's talking about. Okay.
No,
Let me.
how did you get that out of that?
I'm gonna show you. Okay. Let me delete this. Personally, I like the rating method, but if you don't see it, you might see the degrees better, don't you? You see?
What method?
You see the degrees better?
I don't see nothing but
Yeah. I feel like the less.
What's
wording
easier
I
for you
have
to
be
graph?
better.
What's easier for you to graph?
numbers.
I think
The numbers, right? Radius is easier?
Or the numbers.
Right. So do this then. So you got negative 5 pi over 6. Let's convert that to degrees. That converter is 180 degrees for pi radians, correct? So pi becomes 1. 6 goes into 180 30 times. That would give me negative 150 degrees. So once I graph that, negative 150 will put me right about there, won't it? This is negative 150 degrees. Now I know that if I go all the way, it should be 180, correct?
Yeah.
Well, if 150 is out here, then there's 30 degrees in there. And now I've got my triangle again.
I see.
And then it's just a matter of reproducing your 30, 60, 90. Opposite 30 is 1. Well, I did go down, though, so that's negative. This should be the radical 3, and it should be negative. And then my hypotenuse is a 2. La hipotenusa. Cateto, cateto, hipotenusa. That answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I say. Oh my. Yes.
Would you ever go swimming with sharks?
Yes.
What? Why? No.
Exactly.
Sharks will eat you.
They are more scared of you.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it
No, that's
is.
not true.
Yes, it is. They
I've watched Shark Week.
That-
And I've seen the news, some of those people coming out without legs and stuff.
that is
I ain't gonna be no chicken tender for no shark.
The only reason why sharks come near is because they're curious. They don't actually.
So they're curious with me. I'm not trying to send them away. I bop one in the nose, and my leg is gone.
Why would you do that? You're antagonizing. Maybe he was.
I'm trying to get away from those teeth.
If it doesn't, if you.
Things like that just don't make sense to me. Like, why run to death? Like, people that sky jump. Oh, I'm gonna go parachuting. What? I don't think so.
It's a general.
I'm gonna go free climbing. Gravity doesn't work here. There's some things I'm just not doing. I don't think so. I'm sorry, no. I'm not looking for death. Death, you can stay behind. Not looking for you, bro. No parachuting, no rock climbing. Yeah, skydiving. No way, dude. I don't think so.
Nope.
All right, let's see if you guys can find this one real quick. Give you guys a minute or two. Cosecant pi thirds, please. Cosecant pi thirds. Is that what you guys thinking about doing?
Well, no, because he mentioned that he's going to Mexico this weekend,
Sleeping on the beach.
and then he's
Be
going.
careful with those dolphins.
Dolphins will actually bite.
Those dolphins will bite you too. Like, they're nice, but those Mexican dolphins now. No, because like they pet them, right? They get them, they pet them, and blah 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 blah.
And they feed
But
them.
kids are mean, and like kids will like hit them and stuff like that. And my wife told me about one of those Mexican dolphins. It's like, no, they had them like, it was really nice, and then they started being mean to it, and it bit
You
somebody.
know that video of where the seal grabs the little girl from the thing?
Oh, yeah, and the guy jumps into the
I'm
water
telling
to
you,
save
no,
her.
dude.
She's like
My
sitting
dad
on the
said-
pier and it jumps with
My dad said that that's gonna happen to my niece, and he like threatens her all the time with it. It's the funniest
Don't
thing.
do that. That's mean, but
It's so
But
fun.
yeah, I'm scared of wild animals. You should be.
No, well, he
Respect
mentioned
it.
he was going to like an island and going to.
Nice.
Humans would never want to do the change.
Nope.
Because he was going to be voluntold.
Oh yeah, that's what you can do with English.
Hoopty swoopty scoop. I know. Because it's just in my head. Alright, question goes to Delilah. Thanks for participating. Delilah, what'd you get? Alright, let's do this then. Pi thirds, what angle is that? Think about it. Pi is 180, right? 180 degrees. So take 180 degrees divided by 3, you should get 60. How many 60s am I after? One of them. So that means that's just a 60-degree angle. So here's pi thirds. It's only a 60-degree angle. Finish up the triangle. This would be the 30, so opposite to 30 is 1, 2, radical 3. And I want the cosecant of that. That means the reciprocal of sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So what is the cosecant, of pi thirds?
I think the only thing that confuses me is the sign and stuff. You don't really use it.
We don't use sine?
Well, not really. Well, I mean, you do, but I don't see the point of having it right there. I just confuse
I do use sine because sine is opposite by hypotenuse. I have those solid.
Yeah, I know.
And then I reference that to see that I'm looking at the...
Never mind.
I was just trying to explain to you what I do. So I have
No,
sine.
I know that. I know.
Okay.
I just know.
You're coming off so nice. So I just remember that I've got to do the hypotenuse first, which is 2. Put that over the opposite, which is radical 3. And I'm done. See what I'm saying? All I have to remember is that cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. And I do it backwards. Right. That's all I do. That's why I write sine, to remember. Yeah, that's it. You throw that in the Excel. Excel will be like, well done, or nice job, or super, dude. Well, not dude, but maybe super.
I just don't understand how, like, you just get
Okay. Well, if you don't see what I did, pi thirds.
What exactly did you do? Like, can you just go
Well, let's do that. Here's pi thirds, right? I want in degrees. So 180 degrees divided by pi is the converter. Pi over pi is 1. 3 goes in here. What is it, 60 times? So you have 60 degrees, and there's my angle. 60 degrees. Jackie nimble, Jackie quick. Can I change the slide? Now, some of these you can do on your calculator. Actually, all of them you can do on your calculator. But if it's looking for an exact answer, you're going to have to do it by hand geometrically. That makes sense? Thanks for putting your phone away. So, some of these we're going to do on your calculator now. They want us to find the secant of 2. You got, everyone have a calculator in their hand? You and I don't have one. Okay.
Bless you.
Wait, was it 500?
All right, so first thing we need to calculate is a secant of 2. Secant 2. Go. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Munoz, there's no secant button. There's sine, cosine, and tangent, but I don't see a secant. How do I do this? Well, I saw in an earlier slide that secant is the reciprocal of cosine, which means that secant can be calculated as 1 over cosine. So what I'm going to do in my calculator is to take 1, for starters, which mode should I be in? Should I be in degrees or in radians? How do you know? That was right. Yeah, because it doesn't say degrees, does it? Good job, y'all. So, I am in radians, you guys see up there? So I'm just going to go 1 divided by the cosine of 2 and push the enter button. And there we are, negative 2.40. Mode. And then scroll down or push down until you get to radians, push enter, make sure it's highlighted. Let me do that on here too. So mode, and then you would just go down to here, and make sure it's blinking on radian and push enter. Okay? Yeah. You guys good? Can everybody confirm that? Now, when I did this, someone said, Mr. Munoz, I can't do that on my calculator. Oh, can I borrow one on my calculator? I said, no, you can't. I'm sorry. You got to stay here. So how am I supposed to do it then? Grab your phones. You should have a calculator on there that can do it. Okay? Yeah, sure. Yeah, it should. But you iPhones, I'm sorry. I don't dislike you, but you guys are a little weird on how you have to do this, okay? So, you guys on your calculator? Okay. Make sure that you push that rad button at the bottom, and that at the upper left-hand corner, it should say rad, meaning that you're in radian mode already. Right? No, rad. The button is in the lower left-hand corner to switch between degrees and radians. Now, when you push it, at the top it'll say rad. Right? You guys have this little rad up there?
What if your phone's not cool enough to have that?
It is. Open your calculator, turn it on its side.
I did that.
And it should switch over to.
Is your lock screen on?
Yeah, you're in rad right now, see?
Oh.
Wait, can
I shall move. What's up?
Same with mine. I don't know.
So let's see here. Which one's your menu? Which one's your menu? This one. Oh,
Do you
close
like to
it.
go to thinking
No,
about
just close it.
where are you going?
All right, cool. You have a menu? There's no menu, like a little option? Well, we'll take a look right now, because it should be over to the switch. We'll mess with it right now, okay? Alright, so. And your phone might be different, but I know iPhones work like this. Go ahead and do push 1, divide 2 cosine. I know, it's an iPhone. So 1 divided by 2 cosine, and then push equals. And you should get the negative 2.40.
You want it in degrees?
You should be in radians, right? Make sure that you're in radians.
Oh, I think it is because it got the answer.
Good. It might just know. It might. That's gonna be cooler if it does have an auto detect on there. Yours didn't work, Delilah? Normal calculators, you just type it the way it is up there. Yeah, it's cool? All right, let's see you guys try finding for me cotangent 10. Question, radians or degrees? Nice, radians. So this should be 1 divided by cosine?
Tangent.
Tangent, nice. Tan 10? 1.5423?
I didn't get that.
Are you in radians? Check up here. You are not. All you have to do is go switch it to degrees and push enter one more time. You don't even have to retype it.
Yeah, it is.
Good? Alright, next slide.
Oh, I see what it is.
Find me this one. Sound good?
Can we try our calculators so
Yeah.
we know how to...
Yeah, try on your calculators if you want. I'll be showing it to you here anyway. Okay, here's your next problem, part C. Do do do. Do 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 do.
I don't think I did that right. That means sign, right?
Yeah, nice. Should get 1.74344.
Did do it right.
You didn't get that? I think I know why. Hey, Subi, you want to tell her why she didn't get it?
I didn't switch it.
Why you get like that? You just ask. We will come over and help you.
I forgot I was in the right.
Anybody else have a question here?
Why don't you calculate yourself?
Why don't calculators what? They do. Push mode. Should be at the bottom.
Here's a little.
Oh, it's probably because it's one of the older ones.
Oh no, mine does.
Yes, do you have the shot man?
Here, when you do cotangent pi, make sure that you switch over back to radians, okay? I do want to show you before I set you off is how to graph these things. So imagine that's 2 periods of sine, okay? Good? So what you're looking, what, gross? So what you're looking at is sine. This is a reciprocal one, okay? So that means that we have to flip things, don't we? Does that make sense? When we do cosecant, we would flip sine.
Yes.
Well, here's what we're going to do. Can you imagine that we took this sine curve here and we cut it? We're able to cut it right in the middle on that midline. Just slice it in two and then flip them. Could you see that? This piece, let me use green. This piece from here to here will get flipped up and would look like this. Can you see that? However, that means that this would go to infinity, so would that, wouldn't it? And then this piece down here would spin down, would flip down, go to infinity. Same thing here, it would have to flip up.
But it would still all be connected.
What? No, they wouldn't be connected. Because remember, you're looking at 2 different graphs. The red one is going to be the graph of cosecant, while the black one is the graph of sine. Let me show you how to graph those on your calculator. Calculator time. Let's go to y equals. And I'm going to do it just like I would when I'm calculating. 1 divided by sine x. And the graph, see it?
Do you need to switch it? In radians?
I'm in radians, yeah. There's the graph right there, guys, of cosecant. One divided by sine x. Should. 1 divided by sine x. Do this, go zoom and 6. Zoom 6. Did it work? Yeah. There you go. Your window, remember we were messing around with the window settings? So what that does is make it back to the original one. Zoom standard. It gives you what it was to begin with, which is a standard human window. Okay? Guys, that's all I've got for you. Homework is